So I'm very happy to see you. I see you sometime in the class, just say hi. But today I have a 1 hour, 60 minutes to talk to you about how to creating a supportive learning environment at LeaderTalk. I know you've been doing very well, but this is just my observation and my experience so that I can share with you. If you see that it is suitable and convenient for you to do, and you think that is necessary, just give it a try. So before moving on, I told I already, when I admit one student to program, they've been training for 5 days free. So in every I have a 2 to 3 hour training per day and 5 days continuously, so that students understand the mindset of learning English. For example, if they learn in a short time and then they break and then they come back, so the result wouldn't come out and then start again and over. So hello teacher Mian, I'm sorry, last time I will miss, and today you start. So our purpose today is how to create a supportive learning environment in the class, and I know you've done it very well and students love it. It's from my experience, and I would like to share with you the before student being admitted to our program is about 42 training program, 42 weeks training program. So students complete 5 day training intensive about the mindset of learning English. The first they have to work on, that's the pronunciation. The second is about learning continuously and building the habit of learning, the positive mindset. So it's all about the personal growth that I convey, present, and help my students to understand. And if they see that, yes, I'm agree with that, I agree with the program, they apply for the admission. And the team is about Miss Vanessa. She and me will interview to see whether student is suitable for the program or not. And if I see the attitude is the most important thing when we admit one student into our program, but that doesn't guarantee, because it's for a long time. That's their attitude at that moment. So it's not about the whole process. They remain the same positive mindset, the willing to learn at the beginning. So it might be changed. So our job, our duty is how to encourage, how to remind them about their attitude to study. So when a student, when we see that this student have a good motivation, have a good attitude, have a good encouragement, we admit them to program and we carry out the second step, that is the pre-training. So the pre-training is about the 4 weeks. And if you are familiar to TED Talk, it's very inspiration TED. So students will learn about that self-learning, no class at this, but then build up for them the mindset about learning, how to live harmoniously, how to live happily, how to live healthy, how to build up the microbiotic system in the body, for example, so that enhance their well-being, how to learn, how to love, and how to lead. So I sharing 4 components. So one component is about 8 TED Talk. So 32. So they've been going through so that they build their mindset about the world around them and build the motivation for them, so that they see that outside Vietnam, a little country, there's the big world outside. There is a lot of scientific research. There is a lot of knowledge, so that encourage them to learn, to building inside themselves. How to live, learn, love, and lead is a 4 component. And when students complete that, they will go to the pronunciation training for intensive training for 12 12 weeks. So you can see that our students on average, even they are very low level at A1, A2, but they have a good pronunciation as compared to the student you might teach out there in Vietnam or in maybe in other country. They're very aware about how they speak out, how they pronounce the word, very aware of that. And that is 12-week training help them. And then they will go through 30 weeks of speak out program. And our goal for this program is help them increase one level according to CEFR. So our main purpose and our commitment is help them to speak clearly and improve one level according to CEFR. Yeah. So that is the beautiful journey. And students very excited about that. They want to achieve that. But the journey to achieve that is so tough. It's so challenging. And this is not the first time they learn English. 10 times, 20 times, 12 years, 20 years, they stuck because of method, because of consistent. So our job is please remind them that is about the learning mindset. Why they fail? They fail because they think that learning is having go to school and have a teacher. Teacher teach something, they write down and they pass the exam, the test. That is learning, and that is wrong mindset. That's why even they all learn about grammar for 10 years mostly, but when they speak out, one sentence is wrong because why? Not practice, just learning in theory in the class. And the second, they think that I learn English to get IELTS or PTE, and when they get a certificate, they feel empty. And a lot of students in our program in C1, C2 level, they got a lot of certificate, but still couldn't use properly. So, and the third wrong mindset is they have us learn in a short period of time. For example, 1 year, 2 years, and when they achieve certificate or degree, they stop learning. And that is wrong mindset. So what I try to change their mindset is learning is a long journey and not we don't have a destination. Even though you complete a speak out program at least level C1, C2, the journey not stop at that point. It should be complete, but maybe different program, different teacher, different environment. So as soon as we living, as soon as we still breathing, we still learning. So please write down, teacher, and convey this mindset to help our students. Maybe at the first time I talk to them, they agree that and they feel that it's very exciting and they agree, but they forget. But then they forget. That's why we will continuously remind them about the right mindset of learning. If teacher teach you one, you have to learn 5. By that way, only by that way, you can cultivate the practical skill. If teacher teach you one thing, you do homework and complete that, you will forget easily. Yeah. And that's why we carry out this program focus on practice. So the first mindset, please help our students always remind about that. The second is active learning, teacher. So I think in the training, Peter already mentioned about the active learning, but let me show again about what the active learning means. Here. So we have a A1, A2, A2 plus, B1, B1 plus, B2, C1, C2 level. So students are placing at the right level. That is one advantage of Speak Out program. So the establish a common goal and have a student preview the lesson content. We have a common goal at the beginning, increase one level. And in each lesson, we already have this very clearly. So please help student. When we starting one unit, please show student this is we have to achieve. When we starting one A, B, C, show the student, maybe they read but they don't understand. Or they just read it, but then ignore. But then we have to show them this is the preparation. Visual presentation, the lesson content, the person did very well, did a great job. So we don't have to work on this one. A student practice the lesson content. Okay, this is very important point. That is, our model is not about 3-day learning, but 6-day learning. So invest emphasis to students that you have a 3-day prepare and 3-day review. If you come to class with the attitude that you come here, I will teach you something, that is the wrong mindset. And I already tell them. But in practice, when you go to class, it's not about teaching the same day they learn previously. If we do that, student, oh, teacher will, I already learned, and teacher already teaches again. So why should I learn? So that they don't learn, they don't do their homework, and that fail. And some students, they did that, they did prepare the homework, they see doing the same, they feel bored and demotivation for preparing the review, the at home lesson. So when we go to class, our main job is about review. Get ready leader and review leader. Get ready and review. It's not about teaching. I know it's we all working in public, private center and school. When we go to class, we have to teach. We can't do what in LeaderTalk ask you to perform. We have to teach. But in here, we build up the active learning for students. It means you want to go to class, learn something, you learn at home. I'm here to help you understand, to clarify with you what you not understand, and to help you practice so that you can deeply understanding and you can apply what you learn in the practice. You do it for a couple of days. You acknowledge, you give a compliment for students have a prepared well in the class so that other students will do the same. And when you come to class and they come to class without preparation, they feel shame. And then they got motivation to prepare. I'm learning with teacher Chris. And when he goes to class, he just say, asking about the review, the get ready, and then jump directly on practice. That great deal. But then that is the student that are student at high level. They know how to learn. But for student at A1, A2, it's really hard to change the mindset, and it need to be strong touch from the teacher to changing the mindset. Yeah, that is the first point is encourage students, require them. Our Zoom open from morning and at night, so twice a day, so that they are working. They have a time to prepare in the morning. If they don't have a time, they prepare in the evening. So remind the student about the Zoom open. So please write down, and when go to class, please remind for student teacher. Student, and like when we teach children, they love award. They love you've done so well. Great, wonderful. Teacher, children love that, but adults love that. But then they also love the critical feedback at the same time. If we give the positive feedback like 100%, encourage to them, they feel good, but I feel still something missed here. So the way we give feedback for the adult student is what you've done very well, what you could do better, and how can do that. Students love it. It's about sandwich. Some teachers say the sandwich. So always give feedback that way, encourage but critical at the same time. And the second, they love to give the feedback in moment. In moment, it means when they do something wrong, stop them immediately and say them you've done wrong. And give the right direction. Don't wait until they finish the class, finish the presentation, finish everything. But when we coach them, give them very short short time to present, but then stop them if they give the wrong. Not giving them. Yes, teacher Jamin, please.
I have a question here. Now you're saying that we should like give students immediate feedback, like in the moment, as long, like, for example, when they do a mistake, we should like direct them immediately. I feel that sometimes like the students are talking passionately about something, and I feel that we're engaged in the conversation. So it seems that the focus here is on the student speaking rather than correcting them. So sometimes I feel a bit like I hesitate to correct them because I want them to speak. And this is like the purpose. You were talking about providing a positive environment for them, a supportive environment for them to speak. But I feel that I would like correct them. It might feel like a bit, sometimes they would hesitate to complete or something like that. Although I feel like they love, yeah, as you said, they love critical sometimes comments when we give feedback, but stopping them, I'm not sure. Is there a sort of comment that you?
I understand what you mean, teacher. It depends on the student. Depend on the student, depend on the attitude. If the student perform very well in the class, don't hesitate to stop them. But that student have lack of confidence, we will encourage them to learn. So it's depending on the situation. But then in the moment, show them. And even as soon as they just complete, tell them directly. Not at that time, but just when they complete. And some students very active in the class. They speak a lot, but then we should have a paper, a note on the book, and we have an order: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, so that we will call them in order. We call them in order, and then when I'm teaching, I will have that table on my that book on the table, and then I give them the minor error. And next time, if I see them repeat again, I tell them, please correct this one, so that students feel that they are being paid attention and we care a lot in the learning. They really appreciate that the way I do. And in my teaching, for example, I have a 12 student. The way I do like this, some students, when we ask them, raise hand, no one talk. But when we finish the class, they talk to the team that I don't have a chance to speak in the class 1 hour, and no one call me. I feel like ignored. Even they turn off the camera. So that problem, but they come back and complain. So to make sure that you point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and not all the students are being called in the class. Okay, that is one important thing I would like to share. For example, I have a 12 student and I have 60 minutes for presenting the lesson. So it means that one student will have 5 minutes for giving coaching. Presenting, giving coaching. It depends, but this is what I do with mine. So I would go with 2 rounds. The first round, one student will have 2 minutes. And I using this one. You got a 2 minutes. And you present and I give you the feedback. And the second round, we'll do the same. 2 minutes. After this student finish, I will go with next student. And they know the order. So student very sure that this should be their turn after this student. So they're being active. And all the students, I will ask them to type what the presenter talking about, typing on the chatbot, so that they develop their listening skill and also engage to the student. And I also ask them to give the question to the presenter. And after that, I give feedback. So 2 minutes, done one round, and second round continuously at that way. So that's the way I do. You can use this as a reference if appropriate. Okay. Here is the point. When we have the lead up of the student 1A to B, 3C, have you heard about the second body program? The second body in Vietnamese is about đề nhị thân. Yep. Teacher Miên can use this as reference. Can Google it. So second body. And this concept I learned from the Plum Village. In Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's about the master Thich Nhat Hanh. And when one person go to the monastery, they have being take care. For example, number 1 will take care for number 2. Number 2 will take care for number 3. Number 3 take care for number 4. Why that work? If you are the oldest person, oldest sister or oldest brother in the family, type number 1. If not, type number 2. So that I can share. Okay, teacher Hamza, number 1, number 2. Teacher Viên, number 1. See, I'm an oldest sister too. And I have 6 younger siblings. My parents adopt one. So, and you know that the good news is we all working together in the LeaderTalks team. So teacher, Peter is my younger brother. Michael is managing about the finance. Edward, my youngest brother, is working for marketing and advertising and running program. Ping is adopted sibling working in the IT department. We still have I have a sister-in-law. You know how many sister-in-law? One sister-in-law is teacher and 2 other teacher-in-law in the supporting team. So the whole family working in this school. And I'm the oldest one. So you can see that it's family company.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like please go to Hama village. You can see that is about like a working environment. Yes, family environment there. Yes, there. Come and visit couple of days. Week is like a resort on the mountain. I would like to invite you officially. So I'm not the best student. I'm not intelligent, but I have a very good motivation. It's because of responsibility for my younger brother and sister. And I thought that when we the oldest one, and we have a responsible for our younger one, we'll do our best. It's not about for ourselves, but it's because the responsibility for the family and for our younger brother and sister. And the same in the class. When students go to class, and you can see like students have one child student, they lack of motivation, just lazy. I know a lot. It's really hard to encourage and motivate them for learning hard, working hard, because no responsibility, especially when their parents have a lot of money. So it's hard, huh? So
common story.
the problem here is, yeah, thank you, teacher Mian. When one student coming to program, we really encourage them about connection, about responsible for other, about supporting other. I told them, I educate them. If you want something, give that to other. If you want to learning well, if you want to be successful, help other to be successful. So a lot of our students has been successful is because, and like 100 of them become English teacher. It's because I encourage them. Your teaching is not about money. Money will come as a result. It's not your purpose. But the goal in the teaching is about sharing. Sharing what we have you to be learn, to become. You help others. And because you do a very good karma, you show your attitude to the universe that is supporting others. So the whole universe will support you by showing you to learn with a very good teacher, guiding you to learn in a good environment, connect you with the opportunity for learning and growing. So students agree with that, and they got motivated to learn and to share and to teach, even they don't have a certificate. So by that way, we create 100 teachers, and even they go abroad, they teaching English a lot. They do it in Europe. Yes, you're right, teacher Hama. Connect you with the opportunity because you do a good job. You help others. So you build up with yourself to see that you are worth to be supported. You are worth to be helped. For universe help you so that you can help others, guiding them, sharing them that purpose. So you see, in the school, primary, secondary, and high school, is learn about all the competition. I want to be the best student, highest score in the class. But that is not about what we encourage, but that is wrong concept of education. My dad did me when I was 6 years old. He learned in Russia about the engineering, and he teach me that if your student asks you to see your test, your exam, showing them, and I do the same in my whole time learning journey. I always the best student in the exam, but if someone asks me, okay, you go, I open, I share. And I see that I'm not going to class with a competitive mindset, but I really share, and I feel a lot of lucky. I got a lot of luck in my learning journey. I have a good teacher teaching me. I have a great opportunity to study to work. For example, I get the highest exam in the entrance exam and graduation in the top 3% of highest mark in the university. I got the full scholarship to go to Australia for study. And after that, I go home. I spent 10 years for working in the English teaching industry. You see, my English is suck. Not fluent. And I admit that. I see that. I tell them honestly that I got IELTS 6.5 and that's it. And after working 10 years, I got another great opportunity. So Australian grant me a PR, permanent resident, go to Australia for living and working and studying. So a lot of opportunity open to me. And I never care. I never care about the competition. If someone asks me who is our competitor, I say, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just doing the best as I can to help my student, and that's it. I don't care. And when students have this mindset, is about responsible, helping others, and build that mindset for students, building connection. Because it is really boring at 5 a.m. I have to wake up. I should wake up. I always sleep, wake or sleep, wake or sleep. Which one is better? They choose to sleep. If there is no motivation, I have to go to class because my friend is waiting to me. And they call me at that moment. If my friend call me, I will wake up. But if no one call me, okay, I sleep. That is for self-study. That's it for the get ready. So build that connection. If number 2 not come to class, number 1 have to call them. Supportive. And tell them that you only have 30 weeks to learn with me, to build up the friendship with me, and building friendship to your classmate. Help your friend learning and having better opportunity in life. And beside that, please build relationship with them as a friend. It's not about teacher. You are a student. You know, student being inspired a lot from their teacher. When I come to Hanoi, one student came to me and told me that teacher Prisla, she used to be a dancer, and once she wanted to become an English teacher. She decided to become English teacher and teach, and that's a very inspiring story to students. And I share with them my journey as well, so they get inspired. That's why they can wake up early in the morning to learn. So I know to be able to teach as a teacher, you are really passionate in changing life, in helping others. If not, we can't work in this career. I deeply understand. So that share your story, share your experience. And that would be really beautiful, especially teacher Putra, teacher Hamza, and teacher Jasmine. You come from very different area of the world, and communication in Vietnam is not popular. Where your home country is like something really strange to the Vietnamese. You can see a lot of students never see some women who have a scarf on your head, and tell them about the women story in your home country. Women really tough, strong, and very intelligent. They really care a lot for education. They learn hard and they have their own right, their own idea, strong and tough. Share that story with our students so that they are being inspired. Share about the difference in culture, because Vietnamese is not open like in your home country. We still quite close. It's because of many reasons, but one, English barrier. In Indonesia, Indonesian speaking English so well. Even the student in the university, I went to Indonesia, and I have a lot of Indonesian friends. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, very kind, very passionate, very intelligent. Like teacher Hamza, you know what? When I come to CEFR, the first person that I am looking for the people in your area to work with. Very honest, straightforward, very working ethically. So show them about that story to encourage them. Like teacher just love students just love you. And when I go and they give the reflection, you see every week the student give a reflection, and they say that I love teacher Mian. She's so fascinating. She's so excellent in teaching, and they just wake up to learn with you, waiting to learn with you every morning. See, we did a very good job. We did amazing. So keep going with that. Keep going with that, teacher. We will get older. You see, we will get older soon. I'm now if 39 years old, but I'm over 40 and 50. How can I sit and teach? So we spend our time. Like our daily time, like I think my youth, to helping others achieving their dream. They dreaming to study abroad. Yes, you go. They dreaming to speak out. They dreaming to learn more in the world. Go is about my purpose. My life purpose is giving freedom to others. Freedom in learning, freedom in going to another country, going everywhere, and freedom from within. It's all come from learning and self-learning. So help students have that skill set to use in life. That is my purpose, my goal when creating this program. One more thing. So we already go to number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Evaluation. Evaluation is about when you go to class and you give feedback according 3 questions: what you already done well, what you could do better, and how you do it. And number 5 is about homework. Number 6 is about reflection. So why reflection is important? It's about this changing the mindset of student. Sorry, this is in Vietnamese, but the yellow one is teacher. The second one is about student and student. So when we're talking about the interaction dimension in the class, we say that we normally think one way, that is about the student go to class to learn from teacher, but wrong. So please build the mindset for student. You go to class, you learning from me is one part of learning, but you also need to learn from your classmate who have a strong experience, long journey, learning from them, the good and the not good, and the mistake. And then the third dimension is students reflect with themselves, and teacher also reflect with ourselves. Why that important? When we driving, if we teach the teacher sit beside and tell you, Anna, you don't done wrong. But if we ourselves, if I myself don't see that I'm doing wrong, I wouldn't correct it. So I have to have a ability, awareness, ability about what I'm wrong and how to fix it. Reflect give you opportunity to optimize. Yes, teacher. Great. Yes, I agree with that. And that make the learning process has become successful. That is a learning cycle. And the last thing, student always asking is about, I want to speak more in the class. I want to speak more in the class. And they think that about communication skill is I have to go to class and I have to speak. But then, what to speak if you don't have an input? So this is about input and this is about output. So to have a one output, you have to give a 10 input. So input is listening, is about reading, and output is speaking and writing. And students stuck because they only focus on speaking and writing and not care about input. It's about the get ready. If they don't do homework, they don't listen, they don't learn the vocabulary, they don't learn the grammar structure. So how they can produce output? This is the common mistake of Vietnamese students. I don't know about international, but in Vietnam, this is a common mistake. So that they want to come to the class and speak. But then after 2 weeks speaking, it's run out. They run out of vocabulary. And they stuck and they say, I don't see the improvement. Why not? Because no more input, no more improvement. That's why the get ready is necessary, is a must, is a vital. So remind them. Yes, teacher
Yes.
Yep. Yes, teacher Min. So change the mindset. You have to read. Yeah, teacher Hamza, go ahead.
Sorry, Anne, for interrupting. Just regarding this points you're talking about, we've had this discussion actually with the class I teach. They actually, I asked them on the reflection part whether they think that we are fair when it comes to speaking or not. So most of them would say that we want more speaking and that we don't want to study grammar or do reading. Or I made sure to explain that without the inputs, there will be no development when it comes to the output. So the question is, do you want to still stuck on what you know, or do you want to develop more input so that you can give more outputs? And most of them actually said, yes, we want to learn new things. So I said, the way to learn new structures and new vocab is through reading, listening, and grammar, the things you want to omit. And most of them actually, when you tell people the reasons behind what you're doing, you will find that 90% of people will understand, and they will technically start to follow with what you're doing. So I just share with you regarding like a vivid example regarding what you're discussing. Sorry for interrupting again, Anne. Thank you.
Yep, I agree, teacher. So we have to remind them always about changing the mindset of going to class, communicate about you coming and you speaking. You have to do your homework. You reading, you do all things in the graduate. You come to class, you have more chance to speak. And tell them another point is how to carry out the graduate right way. Is the first person go to class and claim the host. The second come, we learn with the first person. The third person come, stay there. But until the fourth person come, breakout Zoom for they two coming together, so that you have a 90-minute speaking with your friends. See, a lot of opportunities to speaking, 90 minutes. And then in the evening, if you want to speak more, go to class in the morning. Zoom open at 7:30. Talk. When you go to class, I myself here to give you feedback. It's not teaching you, but give you feedback so that you practice. So change that mindset. Do you think that works, Teacher Hamza?
Yes, of course. I think that works perfectly, and we like considering my class, I'm having no issues regarding this fact, since they are very motivated and they are learning by their own. Sometimes the pace is like unbelievable. So I'm not facing any of these issues, but I can relate based on one of the classes I taught for a very short time. It's a big problem when students are not motivated and they don't want to learn by on their own, actually.
Okay, so what would we do when students get demotivation? Can you share?
You try, and since one of the roles of a teacher is to be motivating students, you will have to motivate them either directly or indirectly to actually keep on going, because our job is not just teaching, but to actually inspire and motivate people. So you will have to find a way to get your students involved, either by telling them about what's waiting for them at the end of this journey, the goals that they can reach and achieve if they take this seriously. Or you can talk to them about the negative side. If they don't actually change their attitude and their mindset, that they will be just completely wasting time, wasting money, and wasting energy without achieving the proper results they are striving for. So I tend to do this, motivate, and then talk about the other side so that people get an idea of what's going on. And that helps a lot, actually.
Yeah, that is great thing. And for myself, when I see my student get demotivation, actually I do the webinar on weekend, on Sunday, so that student can join and get inspiration. But sometimes, it's not sometimes, but many times they get demotivation. So when I come, I share my story. I'm also a learner, and I get the motivation like you. And what I do, I share during that I have a teacher. And when I was a student, I learned English. And every time I get demotivation, I ride motorbike to, it's not no motorbike, bicycle. When I was a student, bicycle, 10 kilometers, go to my teacher house and tell him that, teacher, I got demotivation. I feel that I don't have any improvement in my learning. And see, he said nothing. He went to his room and he took his master thesis dissertation, and he just opened it. He told that he shared with me his story when he learning in Thailand, learning master. And he got a lot of friends from Africa. Friends is really nice, very open, very honest. Thailand people is kind. And he just recall about his memory. And he just shared that. And wow, I spent the whole day and I couldn't write one page. But how can he write like this thick? I admire him. And then I ride my bike, go to my dormitory, and I start learning. That is the way I did, and I sharing with them how I deal with that. Or sometimes I learning grammar, but I couldn't use it. I wish I could like burning all the grammar book and I mix with water and I drink. Like I share with them how I stuck and how I overcome. And that is a lot of motivation for them. And I told them I'm a learner. I'm learning like you. So be honest with them, share them our weakness, our story, what we've done well. So by that way, they get the motivation to overcome. What else? I think today that's it enough. So that the take-home message is the first thing: have a book, have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and make sure who will take care for who. So you go to class, you tell them to, hey, Pura, you have to take care for Jasmine, and you tell that in the class. That is the second body program, and that worked beautifully. Just try it. You get amazed about the result. And the second is we're gonna to have the competition, public speaking competition program. So I think that the academic team, Peter already give announcement. So encourage your student to join in. They get a certificate, very beautiful one. Have a link, QR code, so that later on they apply for work. They have a lot of reference in that. And thank you so much, teacher, for joining today. So we already run out of time. So I hope when you go to class, have a the second body program, that's the first one. Encourage students joining about the get ready and changing the mindset, sharing more story about yourself. Hello, teacher Jasmine, please go ahead.
I have just a question. You mentioned that it's the second body where the first person takes care of the second one. So it's just a question: who takes care of the first one?
The last
Who will
one.
remind you to join? Yes.
Number 12. If you have
yeah, last one. Yeah, I see. So it's a scale. Yeah, I get it now. That's
like this. I've been applying for 10 years and it worked perfectly. The good connection for students. So this is another one I would share with you. So you can use for your student here. So when students come to class, they are being organized a group of 2 to answer this question. So you can open it. This is developed by a psychologist, English psychologist. And he doing research, and he said that if the person who answer this question honestly to people, they become a soulmate, partner, and close friend. And we want to build a friendship for our student, a good friendship. So you can use this as reference. And this one we already done at the beginning of course, so the student have a connection, at least one person in the class. And then building second one with teacher, and then they will open the circle later on.
Excuse me, can I share something before you can
Yes,
end the meeting?
Yes, please, teacher.
Okay. So first of all, thank you a lot for your very interesting and useful sharing today. I really admire what you have done to learners in Vietnam. It has been a long journey, I know, and it takes a lot of effort from yourself and from the whole LeaderTalks team. And I myself consider my students as my sisters or brothers, and I can say I will do the best I can do to help them to improve or even master English in the future. And I totally agree with you that most of the students have the wrong mindset. Most of them learn grammar very well, but they don't know how to apply what they have to learn in communication. However, many of them do not think that the correct grammatical structures or appropriate vocabulary and exact pronunciation are the keys, are the basic factors to help them to improve listening, reading, speaking, writing. And they keep asking why they cannot speak fluently or they cannot write an accurate sentence without asking themselves whether their sentences are comprehensive in terms of grammar or vocabulary or pronunciation. So that's always a problem, and I'm trying to fix that problem together with them. I have already told them that you have to master the grammatical structures, the vocabulary and the pronunciation first, before you can think of speaking or writing or listening or reading, something like that. And yeah, I agree that given feedbacks depends on level, characteristic or attitude or time limit of every single student or every single class. That's true. And yeah, and also what I'm impressive about LeaderTalks program is coaching, not teaching. In which students have to make their own efforts to be successful, not teachers help them. And particularly, LeaderTalk is doing this very well by letting them to join the Get Ready section every morning where they can learn from each other very well. Yeah, I really like this. So this is what I like to share. Yeah, and I'm very happy to be here today to listen to you and the other teachers. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Teacher Min. There are 2 points in your idea. The first is the grammar. So our team understand that situation. Before that, we have a Lucas system to fix this, but then Lucas system is really hard to training for teacher to teach. That's why we're changing to another one is focus on grammar, developed by Pearson. So it's about the practical implication. It's about not a theory. And so if some student sharing with you that they have a lot of problem with grammar, tell them, ask to the team about this program. Focus on grammar. So that after completing, they can join the next step to develop their grammar. The second thing, always remind them about the active learning is the key for you to become fluent in English. It's about teaching. We are here to providing the condition, providing the environment for you to learn. Yeah, tell them that all the time. And you have to consistent learning and cultivate the practical skill by yourself. And we are not gonna have to teach it. We are here like a friend with you, a company with you, providing environment with you for you to learn. But you have to do your job, that is learning. So my passion is about creating the environment for the student understand this concept to learn and become. And the teacher, I know you might go to school and join the teaching and you might see the result that it doesn't work, but we can't change the whole system. I don't know what situation in your country, but in Vietnam, I myself can't change the system. And I believe that for my whole lifetime, until I living at the age of 70, I can't change the passive learning system in my country. The best way I can do that is creating a group of students and passionate teachers who are willing to learn, who are willing to change, to make change. And we spend time, effort, energy on that to help them achieving. So thank you so much, Teacher Hamza. Teacher Putra, And teacher Mian, teacher Jasmine, I really appreciate it. When I go to class, I see you and I feel very happy. I feel thankful that you could become a part of my team and engaging with our learning process to have our friends, our students, and they become our like a long life relationship from now until the end of our life. That's in my purpose. Thank you so much, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. That's really
Thank you very much,
inspiring.
Ms. Anne. Thank you very much, everyone. It
Goodbye.
was a pleasure having you today and being with you,
Yeah.
spending this quality time. And one of the things that I will remember is that LeaderTalks, very inspiring, is that it's a family business.
Yeah.
And that's very inspiring, actually. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ms. Anne. Thank you for the inspiration today, and we're looking forward to see you again.
Yep, thank you so much. So we are about almost 20 people working together.
All right.
Yeah, in a
Okay.
family, like relative, all they are so different. Person will carry out different job. For example, person who are managing the stock for student, like a gift, documentation, a book. That's in my uncle daughter, and her husband is working in Hama village, taking care of the landscape and everything. So the staff living over there. So it's about family, so that we can support each other to overcome many challenges on the journey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. 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 All right. Okay.
We are family too. We are friends. We're family. We're friends. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is really ours. That's how we feel, actually, given the fact that I communicate a lot, especially with Mr. Peter and William. So also with students. So we, for now, like at the moment, I feel that we're friends. We're no longer teacher students, okay? So we come, we laugh, we exchange, we have genuine moments, actually. Which is a great thing to have. It's a great culture to have in at LeaderTalks.
Yeah, a great culture. That is family culture. And you know, teacher Chris from the America, he come to live in the village and teaching online. And if you feel that,
Wow.
it's really hard to find a learning environment. It's about working family environment. Have fun, enjoy. And a lot of my students after graduation, they come back and become like 80 of our staff. 80% of our staff was our student.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
After graduation, just come back
All
to
right.
the team and a different position. Like academic team, sporting in every aspect, they all our students. So they know the culture, they know the mind.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's
Okay.
totally amazing. Mind blowing.
That's another reason how to motivate students. So if you study well,
You can work
you might
for
get a job
LeaderTalks.
at LeaderTalks. So
Good idea.
You're right. Because they just come in the program, they know they can be a potential.
yes.
Okay, so bye for now, teacher, and see you next training.
Bye. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.